YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy ADR back with another update for the Erika Corrosive Throw build for Season 8 Sandlord, and we've hit 5 trill on the dummy. We are blasting away damage, and I just wanted to go ahead and share a couple of the things that I've changed on the build to give you a bit of a later game progression path. There are still many things on this build that can be upgraded, so we're not done yet. Although we did reach our sub goal of chat gets to pick my 0 to hero build, so we may be starting that soon. You want to vote on that? That'll be in the Discord, !Discord if you're ever watching live, and I've got the Discord link down below. Sub to the channel, and let's go ahead and get into this, shall we? All right, so let's go over the changes that have been made on the character. First and foremost, going into our hero traits, you'll see nothing has changed here. Everything's still fine. Going into our talents, everything's the same there. However, you'll notice in here, we've changed quite a bit. We're no longer using Residence of the Stars. Instead, we're using 2 rares and 2 fallen starlights. To show you why we're using this setup, let me first go to our Kismet and Pact Spirits. We have started using Kismet Hound. This is under the melee Kismet section. These are medium melee Kismets, but they work for anything multi-strike because they're not melee dependent. They give us multi-strike chance and increasing multi-strike damage, which is very good. We really want to get to 600% multi-strike chance on our skill, which can be found here. Whenever you open up your character sheet under info, if you go to damage and go all the way to the bottom, you'll be able to see your multi-strike chance and your multi-strike increment. So I'm at 611, I've got 11 over, but that's fine. Those skyrocketed our damage. They are very strong. They allowed me to get rid of multi-strike on my slates. Getting rid of multi-strike on the slates provided us a ton more damage, because now we've got a fallen starlight with the critical strike damage per fervor rating. We always have 100 fervor, so this is 60 critical strike damage. This is 60 critical strike damage with projectile damage and projectile speed as well. This is multi-strike chance and additional damage while having forever, which we always have, and another 60% critical strike damage and some other modifiers. And now we've got a cooldown and mark on hit with some not quite finished crafted mods here. Yeah, so we're hitting much harder. The gearing section, there are many changes to go over on the gearing section, so let's go into that very quickly. Number 1, my belt and left ring still are not priceless. They should be, they're not. We'll get there eventually. For the Blight chest, I did get a hold of and double corrode one for myself. I hit on the chest the upgraded deterioration mode here, and then I hit the upgraded max life and max energy shield. It was worse than my +1 active skills chest. I suspect if I had corroded both the attack mod and the attack speed mod and the additional damage, that maybe that would have been better than +1 active. But it looks like right now, unless you get both of these damage mods corroded, that a +1 active skills chest is actually going to be better. However, you can't buy this. You have to corrode this yourself. So just be aware of that. We are getting cooldown reduction in different places because it does make our Heart of the Storm have better uptime. Heart of the Storm is a massive damage increase. I was originally not using this for mapping. I'm now using this 100% of the time, because the more I've played with it, the more I've realized the times where this thing is actively giving you damage are the times where you actively want to have damage. You don't need like extra damage from the false gods while you're going through the map clearing out the trash. You want it when you're standing still doing like God of Might, or standing still clearing out the doll's gears, for example, or like when you're in your canvas or when you're fighting a boss. That's when it's active and that's when you need it. So there is that. For the boots, I have swapped off of my additional life mod. I've swapped over to prod speed and then capped my erosion resistance down here. We did get a timid on hit ring. Unfortunately, we did get minus aura effect. That's not ideal, but you know what? Timid on hit is still great. That means we're on a priceless ring now. So we've got fervor effect on here, and we've got penetration that I still need to upgrade. We did finally upgrade the sword to full T0. We got the multi-strike damage mod on here instead of the penetration. I think the penetration is slightly better, but I'm not going to re-roll this. Also, I think when you're rolling out the sword, instead of gear fizz, I think these are the mods that you would want. Like this is the list of mods that I would probably have here. Everything on the bottom I would keep. So this, and this, all of these I would keep. This I would swap to flat erosion damage, and this I would swap to armor penetration. I think the erosion mod is probably a fairly bit higher damaging than the flat physical mod. The multi-strike mod and the armor mod are much closer. So on that front, whichever one you get, you just take. Because we have timid now, we don't have it on our bar, so we're now running an archery bond. Archery bond sounds like a meme, but it's kind of not. Let me explain. When you're bossing on this character, you really want to just be standing still. You want to spiral strike intermittently when you're trying to dodge something, or when you've got like unavoidable damage coming in to activate your hardened. Other than that, you really want to be standing still. In that case, archery bond is amazing because it just drops a field and you dash over to the field and you just start attacking. You dash over to the field and you just start attacking. It's really great. I've been using it while practicing on the Showdown 19 boss. I'm not very good at that boss, so it is going to take me a while to get through it. However, it has felt very, very doable, very comfortable, very just cozy. When I'm mapping, I swap this for a life source actually, and that has felt very comfortable as well. If you'd like to see the life source setup, I can go ahead and swap into that just so you can see what I have set up there. We're running life source. We are running an activation medium life. You want this number to be as high as possible without breaking the bank. After that, I am running a residues. I am running an auto charge. And lastly, I'm running an emergency restoration. So that is the new setup that I'm currently running in my maps. It has felt great, especially since I did get rid of one of my 2 life on defeats. So I've only got one of those left on the build, and I may go ahead and just rip the band-aid off and get rid of it. We'll see how that goes. Candles have been upgraded. I made this. This is going to be a pretty hard candle to make. You could get this without the cooldown recovery for maybe 1,000 to 1,300, depending on downsides. So on here, I have flat physical damage, and then I have blessings while standing still, and then I have cooldown recovery speed once again for the amulet. And then for the other candle, I currently have critical strike damage increase, also with a little bit of cooldown recovery on there as well. That's pretty much all the major changes that have been made to the build thus far. If you go into pro builds, if you pull up Erika and down in the search bar, if you type in my name, Adiar, you will be able to see my snapshots for both the 1 trillion setup and the current 5 trillion setup. So those are both there, publicly available if you need them and for reference. If you have any further questions, hop in the Discord, drop your question, and as I get time throughout the day to check Discord, I'll help out anybody that has not been helped by a member of the community. Thank you again for your time. I hope you are enjoying this build as much as I am, and look forward to the 0 to Hero coming soon. Bye bye.